Hello, welcome to Treasure Island Talk Show. This is your host, Cathy. Coffee with Cathy, where there's freedom in every cup. Tonight we have an awesome show. We have an awesome conversation on tonight. This is going to be just a short, sweet, quick. Hopefully, we'll see. But tonight, my special guest is a very special family member of mine. He is a model, professional model, and tonight he is going to share his story. I am about to bring him in and introduce you to him. He is Samuel Ellis. Hey,
How's it
all
going,
aboard.
Auntie?
Welcome. Awesome,
Thank
awesome,
you for having me.
awesome. I am so glad you're on here with us tonight on Treasure Island Talk Show as we kick off Treasure Island Talk Show. And Treasure Island Talk Show, for those who do not know, it is a broadcast where we're bringing various people on our island sharing their story, how they got freed or healed through their situations, whether it's a situation, circumstance, or dealing with people. In life, we go through so much. We often hear the bad part and what we went through, but we want to see how did you get delivered? How did you make it over? How did you get out of it? Or what did you do to be healed? So on tonight, I'm just so excited, Sam, to have you on tonight. I know you're very busy. Like I stated earlier, he is a professional model. He's a jack of all trades. He don't work with children. He just he does it all. But
Thank you.
I'm just so
Appreciate you.
so excited, and I appreciate you giving me a little of your time on the island where we're able to share your story. Um, we're going to just open up, and I
Thank
want
you,
you to
Auntie.
share with me, if you could share about your modeling career. How did you get into
Okay.
that modeling?
I always had an interest for it when I was about 16, 17. Around 18 years, I would say about 18 years old. There was a lady who wanted to do this calendar, this 12-month calendar, just, men, just, melanated brothers. And she did have the calendar, but she ended up stop doing the project, unfortunately. But she gave me the pictures from the calendar, which were really nice. So I posted those pictures up, and then I started getting contacted by photographers, and it pretty much went from there. That's how it manifested. You know,
Awesome.
I was really
Awesome.
excited about that.
Wow, wow. And it
Hmm.
just, as I look at the various pictures, you and your beautiful partner, y'all work that camera like a salt shaker, So, hey, I am,
Oh man.
what I'm going to do, I'm going to take a moment to um, reflect and show some of the pictures
Okay, nice,
that
nice.
um, for the guests will be able to see some of your work.
Okay,
So we're gonna just go away and just show these pictures right.
got you, got you. One love. Thank you,
Beautiful. I just love
thank you.
it. I mean, awesome detail and um, with
Mm,
each shot, how long does it take? I mean, the poses, they're so on point to, it's just like y'all
mm.
look into each other's soul, you
Dang,
just,
dang. I appreciate that. That's
yeah.
a big
So,
thing. That's a big thing that people notice about our shoots in particular. They say, "How do you guys get that feel to just be so intimate through imaging,
yes.
imagery,
Mm,
and stuff like that?" So
hmm
it's something that we feel from the inside of our minds, and it's like they say we're telepathic on those high levels a lot of the times, and we just don't know it. But I think when we taking the photos, we just like are in sync and feeling each other, because I haven't really had that type of experience before with nobody.
Wow. I mean,
So
it's amazing how you can even spiritually get into intertwined, you know,
yes,
and also with your career. Um, Now I do want to go, head down that relationship road because you both
okay.
model, you both model, and
Mm,
so you're both on the set a lot, and there are other, and I hear you call her your queen. So there are other
okay.
queens on the sets. Now, does that often cause friction with the other females?
No, it doesn't cause any friction. Actually, I feel like a lot of people are uplifted just from hearing it, and a lot of people, they actually say things when they hear that. They like, oh, that's a beautiful thing, because believe it or not, some women have never really been called queen, and the few
Wow.
women I've called queen, I asked them, have you been called queen before? They like, no. I'm just like, wow. So it's pretty interesting, just from what people pick up from this upliftment and encouraging words.
Wow, wow. So,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's just amazing. I mean, for the encouragement, now
Mm-hmm.
on the flip end of just relationships, I know, I like sipping on my coffee, and oftentimes it can be hot, a little hot,
mm, mm,
get heated. So, how have you been able to maintain a balance or handle your relationship when you have the hot, I see like some of the pictures look like y'all just on, like I'm on Paradise Island, but
mm.
also it can be problems in paradise. So when that
Yeah.
happens and stuff gets stirred up to it's hot, how do you handle the heat?
Mm. I'll try to identify the unspoken words, and a lot of it is through the body language, expressions in the face. And in my past relationships, I would see those things, but I didn't know that there were substance there. I didn't know that there was like tension within that. So now I just would ask, like, is everything okay? Are you all right? Do you want to speak about anything? Um, I'll try to just ask questions to figure out like if she's exactly what she feels she is. Um, to keep balance, let's see. Yeah, that's a good one. I would say I would ask questions, and that kind of would open doors up to really what she feels. And if she says something wrong, I just try to meet her in the middle the best way I can. It's not always easy, especially depending on like each other's temperaments, how we both react to each other and stuff like that. That could determine how much we can express. But I try not to let secondary emotions dictate, the questions. I just try to fight through the anger. I try to fight through, like, when I say fight, I mean like ask questions through the anger. I try to just seek deeper things, because some people don't want to express really what they feel, especially if things are not really good, if
Mm-hmm.
you will, and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been a
Mm-hmm.
big thing. I would say talking, expression, communication. People say that all the time, but there's really like a depth to communicating and things. So
Wow. Now, often you do a lot. How long, in a relationship uh, with her? We talked earlier about you're at a place right now better than before where you're able to listen. Oftentimes a lot of men don't like to listen to us women. They feel we're naggers or whatever. But
it's not
you
easy.
share with me that you listen to her. And so therefore you're able to listen, but also you're able to do something you haven't done before is express yourself. Oftentimes
Mm,
women, we've been a long time without having a voice. Now we free
mm,
more
mm.
so, and we able to speak. We able to have a voice. Thank God, I'm able to do my own broadcast. We haven't had these
Mm, mm, mm,
opportunities before,
mm.
so we at a freedom stage. So I have
That's so
such
true.
great respect for men who give women an opportunity, to give
Mm.
them a voice to be
Ooh,
heard.
wee.
It is
That's some serious stuff.
powerful when we're able to connect and know that we're not working against each other. God created us as helpmeets, and that's to help meet the need. So there may be things on the outside that we can help with, but if we shut down, it lessens our ability to flow in who we should be, and we're producers.
Mm, mm, mm.
We give
Yeah, that's
life.
that's super major.
Yeah. So I want to go back, even talking to you about how you do that, how you get free from that release, the listen, then share with me about how before you wasn't able to express yourself, but now you're free in that. You can flow in that now.
Yeah, I would say a lot of men are kind of afraid to hear responses from what they women have to say. A lot of times we can live in our egos, and we like our egos stroked as men. We don't want to hear the truth when it comes to us or what we're doing. So it's hard to kind of ask those questions. But I realized that
Mhm.
when I do ask those questions, and I would assume that at the beginning of the relationship that dang, she's gonna have something bad to say, or this can lead me to like feeling a way about her after she tell me all these things. But once I realized, dang, she actually is is neutral to the Most High, and she's actually want to solidify things and make things better. Then I started to see how that benefit me, because we can see ourselves so much more through the
Mhm.
lens of a woman, the feminine energy. The feminine energy is everything around us that's intangible, and we as men, we like to touch things and see things, but not really realizing that the spirit behind those things are much stronger than the things that we could touch. So that's me personally. I just see that I could benefit more by asking her questions, or just like seeing what I could do better. Even it still can be tough sometimes, because we want to feel safe in the other person's arms, and we want to feel like they gonna, make us feel good when they tell us stuff. But when I realize, it ain't gonna feel good when I ask her something serious, at the moment it may not feel good. But it's always good to have the answer, or hear the answers, because then both of us can take a more of a parallel path versus clashing and stuff like that. So
Absolutely, absolutely. I agree. Now you all have a little family. They're so precious. Now,
thank you.
how do you're welcome. How do you balance that? Now, are you a young man, which I know you've been my nephew? Back in the day, the men went and worked and the women went and stayed in the house. So do you contribute to the work and the cooking and the helping with the babies? And what do you do? Is it a teamwork, make the dream work sort of relationship, or?
Yeah, we there was a time where for about like a year I had her not work, and I was doing, like, she was at home with the kids and stuff like that. But we in 2020, it's better to
Mhm.
find more of a balance of these things, because to be honest with you, I like cooking. To be honest with you, I like cleaning when I want to clean, because I can. To me, I'm a fast mover. So like if I see something dirty,
Yeah.
and I I could just see what I need to do at the moment. So I'm not gonna just, hey, wake her up and tell her to clean things. I feel good personally being this way, because I have more control over how I want to feel. And I feel like as a woman, she respects that a lot, because it does take a team effort. A lot of the things we did in our past, they worked, but that don't mean that is going to be the same. Now we got technology, we got our kids that are
Mhm.
spiritual. They're very tapped into the Most High. They we want our kids to be able to see us do these things as a unit, so that they can assist and help. And now they're like little helping buddies. It's not that we tell them to do anything. It's literally they just have more of a passion to help and stuff like that. So to answer your question, personally, you know, in my personal life prior to meeting her, I had things going on when it comes to the whole work and things being deducted out of my check that I'm handling right now. So it made a lot more sense that we both just find balance in that. And also
Mm-hmm.
we have to consider, you know, those around us, like our family members and stuff. Um, we used to have a lot of help back in the days, but now there's a difference in the dynamics of the family. It's like the elders, they want to see us put in that work for ourselves versus them just doing
Mm-hmm.
everything for us. That's what I feel. So you know, her mom is out of the country. She leaves the town a lot. Her dad is getting ready to go back out of the country like permanently. And by us
Mm-hmm.
doing this allowed us to be solely focused on what we both need as
Mm-hmm.
individuals versus what her mom think or what her dad think or, you know, her brother or her sister. And not saying that the help, we like the help and stuff, but it forced us to really find how to like make this work wholeheartedly and well rounded.
Right.
So I'm really grateful for that. And then as a man, you know, I had children prior to her. I never got to experience what it feels like to be at home with my kids and stuff like that. I worked a lot. I didn't really
Wow.
get a chance to have more time to see them grow. This is a complete experience that the Most High wanted me to go through so that I could be who I need to be for myself and my family and stuff like that.
Awesome.
It's not
Awesome.
easy. It's not easy because we still got to find balance in like our single like our individualism and stuff. So just like I said, expressing to each other, communicating. Um, she likes to work. That's a big thing. I don't want to take that from her. I love my
Mm-hmm.
privacy. I like my space. So whenever we are out and about doing our own things, I still can get, you know, a part of myself completed and things like that.
That's cool. I know we talked about, you say, you had other relationships and finding that balance. And I know with me and with anyone else coming from a relationships prior to and trying to balance,
Hmm.
and there's probably been some things because when you in between uh, a prior relationship or your current one, they have children or you don't have any children or vice versa, then that comes a place of it can be a little tense, heated. It can be boiling. So we
Sure.
talked earlier about forgiveness. What can you say about forgiveness in relationship?
I would
The
say
power.
when it comes to forgiveness, it's really good to know like take accountability and responsibility for the things you say and do that can
Hmm.
affect the other in a harmful way or low vibrational way. Once you see that, um, to be able to be able to express that, like, and to apologize, and I feel like that allows the other person to be much more forgiving when you have accountability and responsibility for the things you do wrong. If you don't know if you did something wrong, um, and you see that the other person is not saying anything, they just have like this demeanor about them. You know, that's why I say asking questions really help. And I think depending on how you ask the question will determine a lot of the answer that can come out. We have to be careful and make the other person feel safe to be able to give you these things, you know. Just like when I asked my child a question about something they did that they want to lie about, instead of saying, SJ, did you waste the water on the floor, you know, he would be like, he might say Anna or something. But if I'm like, hey Papa, who wastes the water, who spilled the water, it's a complete difference, and he don't feel stricken in the inside. That's what I think we a lot of us go through in relationships. And that's why I feel like it's
Right.
hard to forgive, because we don't see the purpose of forgiving. We don't see that the other person is genuine and what they feel in their actions and stuff like that, even if they want to be. That's the sucky part right
Hmm.
there.
Hmm. And that's so powerful is to forgive. That's what God wants us to do. And we have to get to that point of letting things go. We often hold on to
Mm-hmm.
things that hinder us from going to the next level,
Mm-hmm.
in God. How can we move on or have a healthy relationship if we do not just let things go?
Exactly.
So um, you were sharing, and we talk a lot about so many different things. Now I know you're vegan, so is your whole house vegan, or is just you vegan?
Semi for them, more holy for me. Uh, I don't force that energy upon them. I think that's kind of unfair because it can be tense and tight. But for the most part, about 90% there. Um, Salmon, shrimp, my lady will cook that for the kids at times. Maybe if we're out and about for a long time, she might get them a bean burrito and things like that. Sometimes
Yeah.
chicken, depending on, if we want to fill them up. But for the most part, we're all pretty much on that same wavelength. I don't feel stricken in the home. I don't feel like I'm smelling meat all day, or it's hard for me to not eat meat because they eating it in
Mhm.
front of me. No, they have like a respect for me without even me asking for that. It just built that way over time because they see how serious I am. The queen, she see how serious I am when it comes to that and things. And also she knows, just like a little more knowledge when it comes to
Mhm.
just eating more vegetables and proper nutrients when it comes to the food.
And you know that,
I don't take that away from nobody though.
okay, because you know
Hmm.
me, your auntie, I eat.
Auntie, listen, I would say I ate more meat than anybody before I was
Yes,
doing
absolutely,
it.
absolutely. So I'm like, Sam, no meat, really? Wow. You know,
Exactly.
but
Oh man,
I
exactly.
have had the opportunity to eat some vegan food, and it's not bad. It's mind over matter. And we talked earlier about the power of the mind that controls, you know, your destiny of your heart. So we
Hmm.
have to make sure that our mind and our heart, is in sync. Because if one of them is not and they off balance, then therefore that's where you begin to get the negative energy, anxiety, depression, and you just lose track of how to deal with a difficult situation.
Hmm.
So I'm just so excited how, even as a man, and what I did want to ask you a question about in this pandemic and you being a male, and I already know the question to it, but what's been your balancing to being the head of the household and dealing with, this COVID and the pandemic and keeping your family safe and
Hmm.
all the economy. How you balance that? I know earlier you stay in the gym, but is there anything else that you do, or is that's your strength to encourage somebody else to give them some tips, another male that's probably listening, to say, hey, man, this is what I do. Or if you got a man cave or something like that.
Well, I would say the first thing I would say is knowledge is power. So the more information and knowledge you have on what's really going on behind closed doors, the
Mm-hmm.
easier it is to walk in this world when it comes to these things we call pandemics. I don't want to get too deep into what I feel the COVID is, but I will say that the COVID, which a lot of people don't know, is man-made and it has a patent to it. So if you do your research on what's going on, you would actually have less fear and you won't move in fear and your whole family won't get shaken up based off of how you're reacting to things. I look at everything more as a positive frame versus this being
Mm-hmm.
negative. I take the bad and I turn it into good, basically meaning like if you're at home and you might not have been home for years in your life to just be able to be settled and to
Right.
be able to see who you are on the inside. I'm doing a little more reading. I'm doing my music a
Cool.
lot more. I'm able to be with my children and really see them grow. And I'm taking that for what it is because it's crazy out here, man. It's crazy out here. I don't know what the future holds when it comes to that, but in the present moments, I just try to love and be more joyous for just spending time with my family and stuff like that.
And you know what? I think that's what God wants. His whole intentions various things, some jobs, some people still are shut down from churches or whatever. But
Hmm.
before the pandemic, everybody was so busy. I just had flown from Arizona, from where you live at in Arizona, and in February, yeah, February,
Mm,
and I was there.
that's
And the
true.
next
That's true.
month, remember, like 2 weeks later, when I got back to Alabama,
Oh
all
man.
everything. But you know what we did was, if you didn't remember, I did the prayer breakfast or knowing service, and the word then was a decade of new anointing. I said God is about to release some new DNA.
Mm.
Did you remember
Hey,
that?
that's
And
what
we
the
would
key said. That's what the key
his
said
DNA.
on the
Yes, yes, yes. And I know you were sharing the
wow,
key that I
auntie.
had gave you.
Whoa. Oh,
And
I didn't make the connection until right now. Dang, that's deep. That's deep. Auntie, that's so deep. That's so deep. That's so
yes,
deep.
yes,
I've been saying that we're gonna get a DNA upgrade, throughout the year and stuff. So the fact that you saying that right now, like, wow, it's like you already knew beforehand.
in February. Through the anointing, I anointed every one of you all and prayed over you
Ooh.
for that DNA. So,
Mm,
this
mm,
is
mm,
nothing
mm, mm.
strange. God is preparing us to have more of his anointing
Wow.
if you are lined up in his word. He's releasing some new stuff in this season. We just have to sit back, we have to pray, we have to love and be still and listen to the reason why it's so important that we be still and know that he's God is because we cannot hear him clearly if we busy. We get
Man.
distracted. But in a season of now, I used to fly back 3, 4 times a year doing ministry and all that in Arizona. But he has put me in a quiet place so I can hear him clearly. He said, Peace be what I have for you to do, you're not gonna have to keep traveling back and forth from state. He said, I'm gonna put everything
Mm,
right there. Even with our coast to coast prayer line, he said, I'm gonna release
mm,
it. And you now with the broadcast, he said, you're gonna be able to bless more and more and more,
mm.
So this is a new season, a decade. And this was 2020 was a new decade of new anointing. Although we went through some times, you got to be stressed because we talk about a treasure. We on Treasure Island Talk Show, and we have a treasure on the inside of us. But oftentimes we don't
Mm,
see that treasure. We can't recognize the treasure on the inside because we're moving, we
true.
shifting.
Hmm.
We don't open it up. But God said, God, as long as we still, God, we give him an opportunity. As long as we be still, we give him an opportunity to open us up on the inside.
Mm.
We got to be still so he can get on the inside of us. And not only that, that's what he able to fill our cup up until we overflow.
Until we
He said, I
overflow.
need until we overflow. He said, I need to fill you up. I need to fill you up. And not only that, filling us up with people we're around, our family. Some of our family, we haven't been around. We had to learn how to live with each other every day. And that's been difficult for some people. He said, but no, I need you in this place because iron sharpens iron and strength is strength. So therefore, before you was talking about your relationship and how y'all had to go through that learning process, like
Hmm.
learning to listen to each other and learning how to connect and you learning how to express yourself instead of maybe walking away. And oftentimes, a
Mm.
lot of men don't know how to express themselves or listen because they so angry or they stuck on being in that controlling spirit. Jezebel.
Mm.
I call it. They want to, no, you
Exactly.
do what I say, not what as I do. Do what I say, but not what as I do. So even with me and my husband, and it was difficult, balancing that corn and he going to work and stuff like that. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. We are so close. It's almost like our every year, our yearly anniversary. It's just we have become so close, and I have just been sitting here and knowing the importance of your immediate family. God wants us to be strength for each other, love for one another, joy and peace. Everything He gave us, He said you already have it to do what you need to do. He said
Mm.
He said the family you have is who I connected you and bless you to be with. Because I look at the children and I see the joy
Yeah.
in their eyes and daddy, they just so happy. But see, that's what God
Mm.
wants, the joy.
Mm.
Children are a gift from God. And so even with the virtual learning, I had to pray and anoint the laptop, the computer, and everything else, and then hopefully hit the teachers and pray over them too. It's been difficult, but you know what? It has made a difference. It's been
Mm-hmm.
the bittersweet. You know what I'm saying? You know how you say, "Oh, this coffee is missing some. It need more cream. It need more sugar. I need to stir it up." You got the cream and sugar in it, but sometimes I go to Starbucks and guess what happened? They have put everything in there, the contents, but they don't stir it up. See what has happened?
Mm.
God said, you got everything in your house. He said, but now I need you to stir it up. And
Get it
that's
activated. Get
sometimes
it
we
activated.
activate it. Yeah. He said, stir up them gifts, stir up the talents, stir up what you have, I have given you in your household. And sometimes I know it's hard and difficult as a man. That's why I love to talk to men because men go through things that we women struggle to. But you all, as a black man, y'all carry a lot of weight. And so, when you can talk
Mm-hmm.
about that thing, it becomes better. When you can release and say, well, hey, this is how I handle this. And hey, I'm going to work out. Or hey, I model, or I do this on the side so I can balance myself. And so I can get that energy, that positive energy going back into me. So what it does is give me the strength I need. It gives the joy I need. It gives me the peace I need. So I can move forward with my family and say, well, okay, I can do this one more day. One more day, I can do it one more time. And so, hey, I am just excited, Sam, about all that you're doing. You
Thank you.
know, what else you would like to share to the people before we close out for the evening?
Let's see. I would say hone in, on your spiritual practices, your religious practices, so that we know how to present ourselves to our mate and to the world and to the family. Everything starts with self-love. And a lot of people, well, some people will hear self-love and think negative of it sometimes, when really it just mean to learn how to love yourself when it comes to taking care, of the physical, drinking water, eating properly, not letting too much alcohol, smoke, the negative things harm
Mm-hmm.
you, and then really just taking that energy in, because we want our kids to be healthy, we want our mate to be healthy, and we want them
Right.
to be happy and all these other things. But it starts from the inside so that it can balance, because if we don't have it in the inside and we're giving it to the outside, by the time you realize,
Mm-hmm.
you won't have no happiness, or you won't have those things that everybody else around you have, if you want. But even if they do have it won't fully grow until the seeds inside of us grow, and we can really just help each other and stuff like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Also, I would say something that's coming to me is try to balance the masculine and feminine energies when it comes to like our ego and pride and stuff like that, because it's a huge difference on what you will receive when you open up to being more balanced. And I guess what I mean by the feminine side, because I don't want men to be like, I don't want to be feminine, or the women, I don't want to be masculine, but more so just like, like for example, a woman might be more timid to speak something that she might want to tell her guy. Sometimes I want to say in all cases, but um, by her maybe asking him questions, that could be a form of masculinity, or by a man, soften his voice so that his lady can respond the way she can fully respond, can be a way of feminine energy. So just these concepts of masculine and feminine energies, I don't want us to think too much of it, but just like how we present ourselves to each other and stuff like that.
Oh,
That's
wow.
what comes. Yeah. And I also
Wow.
want to just say thank you for this conversation, because it's having me reflect in my own mind the things that I've been through with my queen, and to
Yeah.
actually see like the growth behind that. It really means a lot to me.
And that's so powerful because over the years I have seen you both grow. You are both beautiful souls on the inside and out. But to see
Thank you.
you grow and to see the relationship grow, and then, even with the little ones, the joy that they have on it, just to see them play and see children that are happy, you know, it makes a
Mm,
difference. It makes a
mm,
difference, you know, because
mm,
oftentimes a lot of children don't have the love, the genuine love, to
mm,
embrace, So when I see
mm,
that, even through the pictures of the doctor's office, or whatever the case may be, that's so powerful for them.
mm. I need to
They
start
would
putting more out there
Yeah, that is
of
so
that.
powerful. That energy for them, it gives them strength. And guess what? It helps mold them and make them who they are as an identity, their identity.
Mm,
And they get the
mm,
boldness and the strength because they say, well, this my daddy do, I can do it. This mama do. I can do it. They get that, oh, I can do this,
mm, mm,
and then you
mm.
look around the house and they looking at you and they mimicking what you do. You like,
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Exactly. To the
that's
T too. To the
to
T.
the T.
To the
Like they know
T, man.
everything. So that's what I love. I mean, my passion with children and doing so much over the years, but just to see the children and the joy, even in a season, we can talk about everything else, but we have to focus on those good things, God, those good treasures, because we are a treasure. We are his treasures, you know, and
That's so
there's
true.
treasure
Yeah.
on the inside of us, so we have to share that goodness, that treasure on the inside of us outside, you
Mm,
know, and not
mm,
keep it hidden because oftentimes God will hide us. We hidden treasures. Because when we begin to
mm.
hide us, he's hiding us from those things that we don't need. Them
Exactly.
bad pirates on
Exactly.
the island is trying to steal our joy and
Mm,
our
mm,
peace
mm, mm, mm.
and rob us of things that, God says is already yours. So tonight's been awesome. We
That's
talk
so
all,
true. That's so true.
you know, I love you all. This has been awesome. Peace unto you. I speak blessings, peace, and joy. And
Thank
the
you.
best end of 2020 you can even
Mm,
ask
mm,
or
mm.
imagine.
Thank
We're
you.
gonna
Thank
say,
you.
even for Thanksgiving, oh, give thanks unto the Lord, for
We're
He
gonna make
is good. So we're gonna give thanks. And this is November. We got a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving. So, and also, hey, we got Veterans Day. So we acknowledging those veterans also. That'll be another segment. But thank you so much for coming on and sharing about
you're
your
welcome.
life. Thank you for allowing us in your world, in your heart and in your mind. That good energy. We always talk about let it flow through you, in and through you.
Hmm.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. I thank you. Send your love
You're
to everyone.
welcome.
Thank you
You're
so much.
welcome, Auntie. Big
You're
thanks
welcome.
to you. Big thanks to you.
God bless you, and I love you. Until we see each
God
other
bless
again,
you, Auntie.
take care. God bless you too.
I love you also.
I love you too.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Good night.
I'll be back.
Oh, absolutely. You will be back, and you know it. We're gonna have you
It's
back
a
some
good.
more and some more. Yes, yes,
What a
yes.
great one.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night. Sweet dreams.
Sweet dreams. I don't think it want to let us go.
Oh, they want us to go some more, huh?
I guess it said keep on talking. Hey, we're gonna see if it's gonna be ready for us to go now. So
Sweet dreams.